Thank you for joining us today to discuss ways to automate your professional services operations. My name is Lainey, and I'm the Director of Enterprise Marketing here at Jotform. If you're new to Jotform, welcome. Jotform offers a suite of no-code solutions designed to help organizations collect, share, and manage their data. It all starts with our incredibly powerful drag-and-drop form builder. I'm grateful to have two of my colleagues joining us today. Griffin, our wizard behind the scenes, will watch for your questions in the chat, and Lauren, our amazing Enterprise Customer Success Manager, will be providing a demo so you can see the practical examples of ideas shared today. We're going to pack a lot into this webinar, and we'll be recording it for your future reference, so let's go ahead and get started. Here's a brief overview of today's topics. First, we'll level set on some common challenges facing the professional services firms. Then we'll share simple ways to streamline lead generation and client onboarding. Next, we'll explain how apps can help you run and grow your business and why they're surprisingly easy to build these days. We'll follow that up with tips for automating some core business processes. Then the amazing Lauren will show you how to implement these ideas with a live demo. At the end, we'll share a few resources to further your automation journey. We'll also reserve some time at the end of this call to answer any remaining questions you have. Let's go ahead and dive in. Many people working in professional services perform a constant balancing act of running their business and serving their clients. Often, solo entrepreneurs and family businesses struggle to scale because their business customer is king, meaning operations often take a back seat. This can work for a while, but to grow and scale your business and truly reap the benefits, you need to be as efficient as possible. According to a recent IDC study, 60% of leaders in the professional services sector say that technology updates are needed to make substantial improvements in resource management, including staffing, sourcing and development, and forecasting. Other key challenges cited by these individuals include cumbersome project tracking, as well as inaccurate, disjointed data that results in unsatisfactory customer experiences. Consumers expect information that's tailored to their interests and available on demand 24/7. Meeting these expectations and building your brand can be daunting, but fortunately, there are practical things you can do to increase customer satisfaction that will enable both your business and your employees to thrive. By leveraging technology, you can automate administrative tasks to alleviate many of these challenges. So stick with us as we show you how to clear these hurdles like an Olympic champion. Many professional services are at their core personal. Whether you provide technology and business consulting, marketing and design services, or offer real estate, financial, or legal services, everything should be tailored to the needs of your client. Providing tailored experiences and thoughtful entry points to your business can serve as a great first impression. Enabling your customers to book your time and request services quickly and conveniently increases lead conversions and reassures them that they're working with a company that cares about quality. Consistently delivering optimized experiences will reassure your customers that they have made the right decision by choosing to do business with you. Meet your customers where they are by using online forms with conditional logic that respond to their inputs and quickly serve up and capture the exact information needed. Using integrated calendaring systems that update in real time, you can predefine your availability so your clients can book appointments and request services anytime from anywhere. Using automation, you can route appointment notifications, information about new clients, and requests for proposal to account reps and teams. You can also use that submission data to populate calendars, reports, and more. Many firms are exploring new ways to meet customer expectations and generate consistent revenue streams. One example is selling thought leadership and digital-based services via subscription. This adopted model, often called anything as a service, is expected to more than double between 2023 and 2027. A great way to gauge interest for this type of content is by building an app to host educational resources for customers that are related to your services. Consider posting articles that highlight best practices, summarize important trends, or share news if your organization won an award or did something noteworthy in your community. Apps can also be used to support internal teams, such as human resources. HR can use apps to host open enrollment forms and information, share job descriptions, solicit employee feedback, and more. Keeping a keen eye on your business doesn't have to require hours of number crunching. When you leverage automation tools, you can create reports automatically with form submission data. Businesses leverage our automated reports in a variety of ways, including tracking demand for various services, measuring the impact of discounts on revenue, and monitoring overall customer satisfaction. What's more, automated reports that update in real time will enable you to make adjustments on the fly and respond to trends as they happen. Reports can be shared with a link, downloaded, published, or embedded on a website. You can also automate emails to deliver reports at regular intervals, showing the latest submissions across multiple forms. These are great for keeping stakeholders informed and coordinating large-scale projects. Automation can also be leveraged to get sign-off from customers on the materials you deliver or to approve cost estimates. E-signatures provide another convenient way for your customers to engage with you when and where it's convenient for them. What's more, you'll have a digital record of what was signed, when, and by whom, all at your fingertips. Automating the approval process can save a ton of time by routing items for review, directing follow-up emails, and tracking approval status. If you're ready to stop the sea of emails and attachments commonly used to manage these tasks, we're here to help. We've talked a lot about ideas for automating your professional operations, and now I'd like to turn it over to Lauren, who can show you exactly how these ideas look in practice. Take it away, Lauren.
Thanks, Lainey, and hi, everyone. I'm Lauren, and I'm an Enterprise Customer Success Manager here at Jotform. I'm so excited to be sharing this demo today and show you how some of Jotform Enterprise's helpful automation tools can significantly streamline processes for your organization's professional services offerings. Today, I'll be working in a demo enterprise server to show you how all of these helpful tools look in real time. If you're already using Jotform Enterprise, these screens will likely look familiar to you. During this demo, I'll be showcasing a few different forms and even a no-code app, all from within our professional services team. These assets were created in collaboration amongst our team members, which is all made possible by the Jotform Teams functionality. As with the specific forms I'll be showing, Jotform Teams is a great feature to consider utilizing to easily share and collaborate with other users in the system on the same forms, apps, tables, signed documents, and reports. When dealing with a lot of moving parts and multiple projects at once, Teams will allow you to designate which specific users in your server are able to see which specific information, therefore increasing the overall efficiency of your projects. As I mentioned, these forms were created collaboratively, so even though I may not have been the original creator, as a member of the professional services team, I'm given the permission to view, edit, and collaborate with this data. So without further ado, let's hop right in, starting with our form builder. When thinking about the life cycle of a professional services project, collecting all of the needed information right off the bat is probably a priority. In the form builder, there are many options amongst our basic elements to collect a variety of different data. But apart from these basic elements, have you ever considered using widgets? If you're unfamiliar, widgets can help add more automated functionality to your professional services form process. Let's take a look at this example on our proposal sheet. Here, I've added the form calculation widget. This widget is extremely flexible amongst a variety of use cases, but for this demo today, I'm using it to calculate a due date. When my form filler enters their requested date of completion, the form calculation widget will automatically calculate the date minus 5 days, which is considered our internal due date, to leave a buffer for any last-minute changes and edits. To do this, I went into the form calculation widget, clicked the F for functions, chose the date string function. Then I selected my requested date of completion field, -5 days, and saved my work. Now let's see that in action on the form. When a requested date of completion is entered, it automatically generates the internal completion date for our own records and reporting. Though visible for my demo today, this field can be hidden, so it is only seen by those in the backend receiving and reviewing the submission data. You may notice this additional field right here that is reformatting my calculated date. Let's jump back to the form builder to talk about how we can continue to leverage this internal due date for additional automations. First, let's take a look at how that was set up using our conditional logic feature. Conditions will help the form function in accordance with the way it is being filled out by the respondent. There are various different types of conditions we can use, such as showing or hiding fields to only show what is relevant to that particular proposal. We can create a condition to require or unrequire a field based on the type of information we must have from our respondent to build a project. When dealing with a multiple page form, we can also hide pages or skip to a certain needed page to ensure that the filler is not bogged down while clicking through various pages worth of fields that do not apply to them. For this example, though, I used our update calculate condition. The update calculate logic is a great way to pass data from one field to another. In this case, I'm passing the data from my form calculation field to a date field. You may be wondering why exactly I'm adding this additional step. Well, that actually ties into another one of our helpful features, the ability to schedule an autoresponder email. So let's take a look at that now. An autoresponder email is typically utilized as a confirmation to the person filling out the form sent immediately at the time of their submission. However, another lesser known feature is the ability to actually schedule when these emails go out. In this case, in my send email later dropdown, I can select to send an email on the internal due date to the necessary parties, serving as an automatic reminder or alert that the project has reached its due date. While thinking about the form setup, reminders, and keeping all necessary parties on track, one other super helpful automation to consider for your professional services operation is the use of an approval flow. Though the name suggests that the process is on an approve or deny basis only, this is actually an incredibly flexible mechanism worth considering for your use in forms. So let's go there now. An approval flow all starts with the submission of a form, right up here. In this case, our request for project proposal form. Once a submission is received, it will work its way through the flow. The first step is this conditional logic branch. Similar to the conditional logic we built on the form, the conditional branch on an approval flow will allow you to route the submission to different people based on the information entered on the form itself. In my example, on my form, I'm asking the respondent whether or not they have worked with my company before. Based on their answer, the approval flow may be routed to our new customer liaison or to our client coordinator. You can build multiple conditional branches based on the different routing possibilities for your own submissions. Next, remember when I said this functionality is flexible and not limited to approve and deny options? Well, I wasn't tricking you. You can set custom outcomes on every approval step. Here, instead of just approve or deny, I have more specific options to my process, such as not a good fit if our liaison thinks this project is not suitable for our organization. We also have confirmation that if it was suitable, they've added the client information to our CRM. The confirmed client in database option for our coordinator, and the no record or other option for the coordinator to not proceed with the project. Once the submission has made its way past this initial step, we now have a secondary form assigned. When assigning a secondary form, In an approval workflow, you have the ability to utilize pre-fill to pull information from the first form into a second one. In my example, we're pre-filling the project proposal worksheet, the secondary form, with the information from the request for proposal. This will allow my team handling the proposal process to ensure that the correct forms are being filled out with the correct details for the correct clients. From here, I can now send the supplementary form information to another user for their approval. Once they approve the information on the worksheet, it will automatically generate a proposal document and send it to the original client for the collection of their signature through our Jotform Sign tool. While Jotform Sign does not have the ability to pre-fill data in the way a standard form can, we can still map this document to send it to the email address and include the name of the client from the initial filled proposal request. For other data to be mapped to a document, you may want to consider utilizing a standard web form with the signature field to combine all of the previously entered data as well as collect e-signatures. Both are great options. It really just depends on your exact need. After that signature is collected, it goes to another step, which I've labeled working on project. Another flexibility that our workflow builder allows is to creatively utilize an approval step as a stopgap. With no additional settings configured, this project will stay open until it is completed and this user has certified so through their assigned approvals inbox. This will allow my team to take the time and care needed to handle this important project. Once the project has been marked completed by the team member assigned, we're using the split functionality to allow multiple steps to happen at the same time in true efficient fashion. In this example, we're sending an email to the original requester to notify them that the project has completed. We're also assigning them a project feedback form so they can provide invaluable feedback to our team for our improvement on future projects. And the last piece over here is the approval report. The approval report is sent as an email and contains an audit trail document to show who has reviewed, approved, and signed on the form in my flow. This can be used for internal analytics or for future reference if needed. Now, let's head over to the inbox to see what this looks like while our submissions are in progress. In the inbox, you'll be able to find all of the submissions made on the form. I can see here that while a lot are in progress, a few were determined as not a good fit by the assigned users. If I ever wanted detailed information on why something was actioned in a certain way, I can click into the submission and scroll to the bottom to view the steps it went through and any relevant comments. Additionally, for other submissions that are in progress, I can easily access the filled supplementary worksheet as well as track any sent or received signed documents. Here, I can see that I'm still waiting for a few signatures. Waiting for a few signatures on my agreement from our clients. And I can also view the completed agreements by clicking on the completed tab. This will show the completed document, signature, as well as the audit trail for my own filing and documentation. A copy of this will also be sent via email to all necessary parties. Heading back to our main forms inbox, this Waiting for Me tab will help me see any projects with steps that are currently assigned to me so that I can easily take action on them when needed. To circle back to the way my approval flow was set up, when we have reached the working on project step, this view is helpful to visit when needing to take action on a project that has been completed. The inbox is not the only way to track and collaborate with other users in your organization, though. Let's hop over to another form to see how you can collaborate on submissions by taking advantage of our user-only filled columns on the submission table. On this form, my financial-based organization is gathering information from potential customers and how we can assist them based on their needs. Additionally, I'm collecting their email addresses to add to a mailing list subscription of a newsletter that is relevant to their interests. Let's make our way over to this form submission table to see how we can use Jotform Enterprise's in-house collaboration tools to best address these entries and take action based on each submission. Here you can see the standard columns associated with the various questions on my form. But next to those, we have the manually added columns. Starting here, I have checkboxes added for my team to go through and check that they've been added to the newsletter list. Additionally, I have the agent assignment column to ensure that the correct agent is assigned to the prospect based on their needs. I also have an action button located in the next column over. Clicking this button in a submission will send that prospect our introductory email. I can also send these emails en masse by selecting all of the submissions via the checkboxes, clicking these 3 stacked dots, clicking buttons, and clicking the column for introductory email. The use of these simple additions to your table can make everything in the back end of your professional services operation flow more easily and correctly to ensure that you're taking your prospects' needs into consideration and maintaining your strong client base. When it comes to gathering prospects, you can share your form in a variety of different ways. Some of these options include sharing via direct link, sharing on social media, generating a QR code. You can also embed the form on your website, and there's many more options listed here. But did you know that you can also use Jotform's no-code app builder to provide a portal-style landing page with access to all of the needed forms at once? Let's take a look at one of those apps as an example now. Using Jotform's no-code app builder is a great way to share a variety of resources with your prospects or existing client base. In this example, we've not only linked some forms, but also shared helpful PDF documents and even provided a way to contact us directly at the bottom. Apps are extremely customizable, and when added to a mobile phone or tablet, we can even customize the way it looks for our end user. In the settings, I can change the app name and icon so that my customers can easily access this information on the go. When they see our logo on their phone's home screen, they'll know they're in the right place. I can even test what it looks like on their phone by using our preview tool. It's so easy and simple, and if I may say so, a cute way to share resources and fillable forms with those who need them. If you're interested in building an app for your organization, I highly recommend checking out our app template library. We have over 600 ready-to-use app templates for your review and use. Once added, you can easily customize them to your own branding. Speaking of your own branding, let's pop back to our Enterprise Servers admin console to finish out our demo today, chatting about some whitelisting options. Unique to Jotform Enterprise, you can set your organization's logo to be a part of any user-accessed pages. Additionally, you can set a favicon to appear in your browser's tab view like we have right up here. These small branding changes can make a lot of difference when it comes to building customers' trust. Along with that, you can also set a custom domain unique to your organization, removing the Jotform branding entirely. The final adjustment is to set a custom sender for your emails. In doing so, all emails sent from the system, whether a notification, an autoresponder email from a form, an approval email, an email sent from a table action button, those will all come from your own domain instead of the no reply at formresponse.com, which may be caught by some email spam filters. Adding a custom sender will ensure that all emails have been received by the necessary parties. Now, I know that was a lot of information, and this is only a small sample of all of the dynamic and helpful features that Jotform Enterprise provides for your professional services operations. If anything caught your eye, or if you'd like to take a deeper in-depth dive at how Jotform Enterprise may look for your specific use case, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. Thank you for your time today, and I'll send it back to you, Lainey.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And let me just get back to our slides here. All right. Thank you, Lauren, so much. Always appreciate your demos. It's great to see how these ideas play out in practice. So thank you again for taking the time to show everybody exactly how that shows up. So as promised, we have several resources for you to continue your automation journey. On our website, you'll find case studies highlighting organizations from a variety of industries that use Jotform Enterprise to automate and enhance their services and their workflows. We also have several white papers detailing how digitalization, automation, and e-signatures can save you time and money. And of course, if you're ready to dive right in and learn by doing, as Lauren mentioned, we have over 10,000 free form templates and hundreds of free app templates to get you started. And then last of all, this webinar is being recorded. It'll be available on our YouTube channel for future reference. So be sure to go ahead and subscribe there and make sure you don't miss another one of our webinars. And you'll be advised, of course, when new things come up. All right, so at this time, I'd like to just check in and see, Griffin, do we have any questions from the audience?
None over from the YouTube side.
Okay, excellent. And then anything in our Zoom chat?
I am not seeing anything, but I did see some questions come in during the registration period, so I wanted to take the time to answer those now for those who are on or watching this later. So one of the questions was about the approval flow and asking that sometimes it might change who it goes to. Maybe it goes to the submitter's manager, maybe their manager. How can you automate this process even though the approval is dependent upon the submitter? Using the conditional branch element in an approval flow is a great way to accomplish this because you can easily determine how a form will be routed based on the way that the initial form is submitted. You can add different branches and then add the necessary users who need to receive that approval, review it, and then take action on it based on that initial submission. So everyone will be included if their options were selected on the form and those conditions were met. And then the next one, also about the approval flow, was setting up a workflow for staff to review and sign something. So as a part of our approval elements, we have standard approvals in which they would just click a button, maybe leave a comment, and it would go to the next person. But there's also an element called the approve and sign element, which you might have seen on the approval report with the addition of that signature. That's a great way to collect signatures at the same time of the approval. That way, the signature is collected as well as their intended action. You can also select which action requires a signature. So if you're using approve and deny as your outcomes, you can say, we only require the signature for approve, or we definitely need the signature for both outcomes here. So definitely using that approve and sign element will be your friend. And then the last question about approval process was, is there a way to use the form and approval process to collect data and once completely approved, then generate another document that can be sent out for e-signatures? So yes, absolutely. In my demo today, I noted this, that you can send a secondary form out as a part of a workflow and assign it to either a predetermined email address, an email address entered on the form, a user in the system, whatever it might be. When you generate that secondary document, you can pre-fill information from the origin form, as well as any other forms included in the flow. Once that information is populated onto that supplementary form, you can then assign it to someone to have their signature included on it. So definitely a great way. And again, also using that approve and sign element, and you can map those signatures to a submission PDF. So you can have that all in one spot for filing. And then the last question of our pre-registration questions was, is there a limit to the number of forms, submissions, attachments, or e-signatures? And I'm happy to report that Jotform Enterprise does not have a limit on any of that. So definitely make all the forms you need, all the approvals, collect all of those signatures. No limit on any of that on our enterprise servers.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much, Lauren. Yeah, if you have other questions, we encourage you to reach out. You can reach out to our sales team, and we also have a tremendous support team available to you. And if you are already a customer, by all means, reach out to your customer success team or your account manager. So thanks everyone for joining us today. We hope you were inspired by the information and ideas that were shared. Have a great